The Garden of Emptiness, a parable about fertility. The barren valley. In the province of Tiani, where soft rivers wound through jade-green hills, there was once a valley known as the Hollow Garden. Long ago, it was said to be the most fertile land in the kingdom. The soil was rich, the rain was kind, and trees bowed with fruit. But over time, floods, greed, and war stripped the valley bare. Now, it was cracked earth and brittle grass. Birds no longer sang there. Farmers called it cursed. Travelers passed by without a glance. But atop the highest ridge overlooking the valley, a quiet monastery remained. It was home to Sister May, an old nun who had once been a healer, a potter, a mother, and a widow. She wore simple robes and had a laugh like wind chimes. The locals called her the Empty One, not out of mockery, but mystery, because she seemed to want nothing and yet overflowed with peace. Every day Sister Mai would walk to the edge of the barren valley, bow and whisper, "Thank you." Then she would return to the monastery and water a single clay pot. The villagers thought her strange but harmless, until the boy came. Dadan Tode. The seed without a name. A child named Jun was born under a dying moon, the last of 7 brothers. His mother passed in childbirth. His father, once a soldier, now drank and drifted. Yun grew wild, thin and angry. One summer, after stealing bread, he fled into the hills and collapsed outside Sister Mai's gate. She found him curled by the stone lantern. "You're hungry," she said. He spat. "I'm not a beggar." She nodded. "Good, then you'll help." And she handed him a wooden pail. Yun stayed, not out of kindness, but because she never asked questions. She gave him tasks: fetch water, sweep leaves, stir compost. When he asked why they did all this in a place with no crops, she said, "We do not grow food, we grow the soil." He didn't understand. Still, he stayed. The plant that grew from silence. One morning, Sister Mai gave Yun a small clay bowl. Inside was a single seed. "Plant this," she said, "and tend it as if it were your breath." Yun did. Each day, he cleared the weeds around it, whispered to it, shaded it in heat, and hummed to it at night. Days passed. Nothing sprouted. "Is it dead?" he asked. Sister Mai smiled. "Sometimes the seed is listening longer than we expect." Finally, on the 21st day, a tiny green curl broke the soil. Yun shouted with joy. But Sister Mai said, "No, the real work begins." He watered it gently. He shielded it from strong wind. When worms came, he moved them elsewhere instead of crushing them. Over weeks, the plant grew into a lily, tall and soft. Its scent was like rain on dry stone. Yun sat beside it for hours, watching. One day he asked, "Why does it feel like this flower knows me?" Sister Mai replied, "Because you stopped trying to make it grow and began to let it become." I'm Fertility. The Garden of Emptiness. As seasons turned, June and Sister Mai began tending to other parts of the valley. Not planting, but preparing, breaking old clay with bare hands, mixing compost from fallen leaves, building low stone walls to catch rain. Villagers mocked them. "What fools," they said. "That land is dead." But Sister Mai whispered to the wind, "The earth is never dead. It only waits to be listened to." Nautan. They dug not with haste, but reverence. They offered milk to the soil. They sang old songs over furrows. And then one spring, the rains came early. Tiny green shoots appeared, unplanted. Wild herbs, medicinal roots, mushrooms near the rocks. Birds returned. The villagers watched in disbelief. One woman approached Jun and asked, "What did you do?" He paused and said, "We made space, and then we waited." The returning word spread across the province. Farmers, once defeated, returned to the valley, but they came differently this time, not to take, but to learn. Sister Mai taught them how to plant by the moon, how to leave space between crops for breath and bees, how to bow before the earth each morning. Children who once played with sticks now knew the names of roots and clouds. Yun grew taller. His hands roughened, but his eyes softened. Years passed, and the hollow garden became the lush valley of listening. The final seed. One autumn morning, Sister Mai called June to the gate. She was older now, her hair like snow, her spine curved like a question. She handed him a small clay pot. Inside was a seed, black and still. "This is my last offering," she said. "Bury it where the valley began to bloom." Yun bowed. He carried the seed to the first place he had watered, the place where the lily once bloomed. He dug gently and buried it. That night he dreamed of forests growing beneath the soil. When he awoke, the air smelled of rain. And Sister Mai had passed, her body returned to the earth, but the seed she left behind, it never sprouted. And yet, every year, a ring of flowers grew around that spot. No one knew why, but June did. Closing reflection. Fertility is not only the giving of birth, but the making of space. Not only the planting of seeds, but the tending of stillness. It is not force, but receptivity. Not domination, but deep listening. In the most barren place, the earth remembers. And when we treat it with reverence, life returns.